Well, hello and welcome back to Off the Tracks. I'm Lee and today it's time for another episode of Ride It, Pie It or Top 5 It. And of course, I'm joined by CoasterDan.
Hello and welcome to Ride It, Pie It or Top 5 It. This is where we rank a ride, for example, in a 3-tier system. Riding it, it's good, it's alright. I'd probably queue for no more than 15 minutes for it. However though, pieing it means absolutely not a chance. If you gave me £1 million, I still wouldn't ride it. And not forgetting top 5 in it, which means absolutely incredible. I will ride this thing all day long. So Lee, what ride have we decided to review?
Well, we're going to be taking a trip back over to Thorpe Park and taking a look at Derren Brown's Ghost Train.
It's my ghost train. It's my ghost train. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. The Derren Brown Ghost Train opened in 2016. Cost a whopping £13 million for a pretty much, let's be honest, a fancy transfer track. Let's be honest. There is going to be some spoilers in this, guys. So, Lee, your thoughts then on Derren Brown's Ghost Train?
Well, it's a tricky one as well for me. I've only actually experienced it when it was Rise of the Demon, so I never experienced it in its early sort of incarnation. Now, I've seen, POVs and I get the gist. I don't think things changed massively. It was just a storyline change, I believe. So, but overall, I wasn't really that impressed with it. It isn't overly my type of ride. As far as dark rides go, I'd much prefer to ride something like Walking Dead, like a coaster in the dark or something. Personally, that's where I stand.
Okay. In my eyes, I think it's an absolute genius of a ride. It's never been done before, this whole ghost train feel of it all. And I love Derren Brown to pieces anyway. And I think I love that psychological thing of making you creepy and it's all a bit scary and a bit dark in there, and wearing this VR headset as well. So you are literally isolated from everyone else. So technically, really, it's your ride. It's your ghost train, which I absolutely love.
That's it. I think for me, I was impressed by that. The problem I had was my headset didn't work on both sections of the ride.
Looking at it visually from the outside, the building, this whole Victorian London underground kind of feel
Looks
to it
cool.
all.
Looks cool.
It looks amazing. The queue line itself looks amazing with these posters ripped up and everything.
I love Thorpe Junction and stuff as well. I think the detail is cool. You can't deny that.
Absolutely. And then obviously you head into a pre-show where you've obviously got Derren Brown himself there talking to you psychologically, why you're scared of the dark, giving you all these facts and figures and everything. And I love that about it, in this kind of projector kind of feel of it all. And then obviously you're queuing there for ages. There's a man standing there. He's obviously the dispatcher. He's literally going, I haven't got the green light yet, so I'll just talk an absolute load of waffle for the next 5-10 minutes. And then obviously you are greeted by this lovely floating Victorian carriage. Now
that was one of my favourite parts of the whole experience. I thought it looked breathtaking. When I walked in and I saw it with the chains, I thought, wow, I'm gonna be in for a treat with this. This looks really good.
Yeah, and then obviously you're stepping into the train itself. Obviously you split off into two groups, and straight away, what you can tell the difference is that the seat, what you're sitting in, is like an underground one, not a Victorian carriage.
A modern day underground, yeah.
So then you put all these headsets on and everything, and it sounds great. And I must admit, the minute you put your headset on, there's no messing about. You're straight in it. I mean, you're not waiting more than probably 30 seconds, and then straight away. I mean, so the operations of it are quick. The minute you sit down, put the headset on, it's already visuals up saying, this call center or whatever center. But you know what I mean? It's all kicking off in your headset, and then off you go. I love the feel of the train, as you do feel like you're moving quite a lot.
I was impressed with that, to be fair, especially in the first section, because they had more visual than audio. I was impressed with that, and it did feel real. There was a couple of bits where I really jumped, more than I've ever jumped on a ride, where I think, I won't spoil it too much, but something jumps right at your face, and I'm not going to lie, I was like, geez Louise, which even without sort of full audio and visual, I still jumped. So there's some parts where I wish I could go through and just have a perfect experience, but even if the headset for me was working perfectly, I don't like having a headset on for a start. I don't like the fact everybody else has had the headset on. There's a few things, and with the masks, my God, I mean, I couldn't breathe. So
no, it's not the most comfortable. I'll give you your dues on that. And then obviously, I mean, visually wise, inside it, I don't think it's that great.
I don't think the graphics are all that much. The geezer didn't look like a man sat there. You know, there's like a homeless guy kind of thing. Yeah, he's with
the lighter. Shut up,
again,
dog.
Why not just have a live actor filmed? Or if it is, why not make it?
No,
look
it
like
is. They were all live actors when they did it all. I just think
a lot of them look CGI, don't they? Like, or they look in some way. Especially him with the fire. Obviously, the people sat with you in the carriage. That looks perfect for me. I thought that was a really good touch. How everybody else had headsets on as well, so you know, it made you feel like that was a good trick. But like the first guy with the lighter, I just didn't think it looked real at all. So I'm sat there thinking, well, what's this?
So obviously, halfway point, they tell you to get out. So you get out and you're running around and you don't know what is going on. Now I like what they've done now with the twist of they tell you a number before you even enter into the Victorian carriage. And apparently with that number, it's like a code, and then they have to program that code in, and then obviously you got to run back into the, to open the door to go back onto the train again. I just don't like that bit at all. I just think it just takes you out of the whole situation.
I didn't understand what was happening. And then when we got back in the train, I was like, was that part of the ride? That was pants. And I mean, sometimes I know, you know, I always try and look on the bright side, but for this, I just really struggled not to give it a hard time. And even there was a part where I just basically said, I think to Theme Park Jake or one of the team, that I didn't even get any of audio in that, did you? And the girl was like, "Are you listening?" And I was like, "No, I'm telling him how bad your audio is." Like, and it's got to be in my bonnet a bit. It wasn't for me. It wasn't like kind of part of the experience. It was just getting shouted at by a ride host.
So the second bit is obviously it's a completely different thing. You've got this like weird, I don't know, zombie thing or whatever you want to call it now, coming at you in your face and more jumping scariness and stuff. I don't like the second part. I prefer the first part. It's more creepy, it's more scary, it's more jumpy. However, though, the thing with this, though, Lee, is that it only, like, I think the capacity of it is 750 people throughput
per an hour. And that's full capacity, which we haven't seen recently, and I don't think we will for a while, so that might be a problem.
Obviously, they're doing the time slots now, which works out a lot better.
But how many people was on our carriage? There was one side full at any one time. There was never two sides, and I think there was maybe 19 people on there with us. So you know, if you think that's got to hurt it, hasn't it?
However, though, so you've come off the ride, and then you now this is going to be a spoilers, guys, as well, that you do enter into a fake shop.
Well, this, to be fair, was one thing I had no issues with. I was blown away by the ending. That is one thing. Like, again, spoilers, so if you really don't want to know, skip now. But wow, that fake shop. You were all telling me it was a fake shop, like when we were queuing up for the next ride.
I was saying, I was trying to make out that.
I mean,
all right.
And like for queuing up for the next coaster, and I was like, that was a fake shop. At the end, when I was like, that was amazing. So yeah, that for sure, one part of the ride I had no issues with, and I absolutely adore was that end shop. Fantastic.
So Lee, if you had the chance to change something about it, what would you change?
I would change it entirely by ripping it down and building a roller coaster there. That is honestly what I'd do. I don't, but for me, I am not into it. It's not my kind of ride. I don't think in this day and age as well, especially after the pandemic, I think the lastings of the pandemic is going to be around for a while. You know, like the fallout from it, people not necessarily touching and shaking hands and little things like that. I don't think the headsets are well suited to this now, our new way of life for the next few years, and I just don't think it should stick around, really. Not a big fan.
So, Lee, I think it's time that we rated this sucker. Before we do that, in fact, guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you like this year's version in the fake shop where they're doing that, or do you prefer last year's when they had the alien? I'd love to know what your what you would say on that. So, Lee, then, so what would you rate this then?
Well,
I've got a feeling I've got a rough idea what it's going to be.
I think you might have an idea. It's obviously top 5. No, I'm joking. I obviously apologise to anybody who loves the ride, and I don't want you to think I've just been sort of meaningly slagging it off. You know, I have had bad experiences on this ride, so for me, it's got to be a pie. I wouldn't spend any time queuing up for it. And if somebody promised me that the headset was going to work and the audio was fine, I'd still go and get a Nemesis Inferno.
Wow. In my eyes, hand on heart, I'm going to top 5 it.
out of this place.
I'm going to top 5 it.
You're not.
I tell you why, Lee. It's because there's nothing like this in the world. I love Derren Brown. I love that psychological. I love VR. I love horror. So in my perspective, everything's already there for me.
All them things done averagely adds up to an all right experience, I suppose.
And it's sad to say, like, you know, that sometimes you do have bad experiences. And I love the fact of as well, not everyone has the same experience.
Yeah.
Like, I had a woman, someone had an old man, someone had a young man. Do you know, everyone's got a different experience. It's still the same kind of lineup.
Yeah.
But I just love the change of it all. It's just sad that to hear that, you know, you don't like it, which is
not my kind of ride. I mean, that's the thing I think people need to realise as well. No, this is our opinion. We're just having a chat. It's here for entertainment. You know, I'm not saying rip the ride down. I'm sure there's loads of people that love it. But on the same hand, rip the ride down.
Yeah.
We hate it. Guys,
but
yeah, it's not my kind of ride.
Guys, let us know, what would you do? Would you ride it, pie it, or top 5 it? Don't forget to follow us on our social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe and hit that bell icon. Every time we upload a new video, you will be notified. So I'm Dan.
And I'm Lee.
And thanks for watching. And as always, happy riding. See you in the next one.
Amazing.
It was really good. Guys, in the chat, because obviously it's Video Takeover Live, we would love to know your thoughts on the Flight of the Lion.
Flight of the Lion.
Flight of the Sky
Flight
Lion.
of the many lions.
Yeah.
It's just one lion.